Welcome to the Tailgate Talkers podcast. I'm Dane.
I'm Justin.
And this is our inaugural podcast. So, let's get into it.
We have a great show today. We're going to go through predictions, some weekly news. I know we're starting this 2 weeks already into the NFL season. Hit over some fantasy and then preview week 3. We could just go division by division.
Yeah.
I'll put the graphics up on the screen for the viewers. You want to start AFC or NFC first?
Let's go AFC.
AFC. You just want to do north, south, east, west?
Yeah.
All right. AFC North. I'll go fourth up. So fourth place in the NFC North. I'm gonna say it's the. Oh man. I'll still say Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
My third place. I'll probably now have to go Cincinnati.
Okay, Bengals.
What do you think?
Yeah, loss of Joe Burrow. The defense is shaky. I agree.
Which, by the way, I know this ain't about our fantasy team. You had the number overall pick in our fantasy team. You took Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Do you think that takes a hit with Joe Burrow?
A little bit. I still think he's going to get a lot of volume, especially considering you have a bad defense in the Bengals.
Even
Defense
more of a
that gives
security
up-
blanket, just throw.
Yeah, I think that he's not going to probably get the same amount of touchdown equity as he had with Joe Burrow because just the quarterback play won't be what it was.
All the receivers were way down week 1.
Yes.
Like Collins,
Yes.
A.J. Brown, Chase.
Yeah, I think part of that too is I think defenses have an advantage week 1 because I think they can attack offenses that are still rusty and out of sync, and I think in general week 2 was just a lot more firepower offensively than week 1.
For the second place in the AFC North, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the Baltimore Ravens I got winning. So we basically same.
I agree. I think Baltimore's going to run away AFC North. I think Steelers.
I think they'll hang around for a bit, but Baltimore's going to pull away.
Yeah, I just think that Steelers defense isn't as good as I initially thought in the beginning of the year, and then I also think that Rodgers is old. He looked really good week 1 against the Jets, but I think against a quality defense like the Seahawks, they got exposed.
We just pissed off a lot of Steeler fans. All right, so AFC South.
AFC South. Ooh.
I'm gonna make this easier for myself. I know the standings. Okay, it makes me have to think. I'm not an AFC guy. All right, AFC South. I have I feel like that's kind of easy. I got the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I put them in last place too. I think there's good. I think the defense is pretty good. Offensively, I think you got a young quarterback and not a whole lot of weapons, at least explosive weapons that you're scared of.
Agreed. Now this is hard because normally I would have put the Colts here.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
If I could
This
go
is
back
rough.
and switch my preseason predictions, I'd have the Colts winning this division.
Really?
Oh,
Or
my
the
gosh.
Texans?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at that game last night against the Buccaneers, and I just think you look at C.J. Stroud. I don't think it's C.J. Stroud's fault. I think he played well, but outside of Nico Collins, what kind of explosive weapon does he have? He has the 2 new rookies, got Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, but both of those guys were nowhere to be found. And you have a guy like, you have guys like Joe Mixon that are out that are so much better than Nick Chubb, who, he's an old running back that's been beat up over the
Jonathan
years.
Taylor is killing it right now.
Yes.
He's right now probably having the best season so far in 2
Yes.
games. But
Yep.
number 3, I'm probably going to put the Jaguars.
Ooh.
I know this one's hard.
It's between them and the Texans for me. I think the Colts are a tier above these other teams in the AFC South, but it's either them or the Texans.
So who do you
not-
got?
I think I got third place in that division. I'm gonna have to go Jags, and the reason why is just because the Texans' defense is serious.
Yeah.
You got Derek Stingley, you got Will Anderson on that defensive line in Houston. They looked good last night against the Buccaneers.
I am going to try very hard not to be a prisoner of the moment. And I literally just made this decision in the last 2 seconds. Because I was going to go Texans 2, Colts 1. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to put the Colts 2.
Okay.
I know the Texans are 0-2 and the Colts are 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm planning on throughout the season because weeks 1 through hell even 4, it's just wacky.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I'm
That's
hoping
true.
that they'll both kind of, I don't know, convert to I guess what I believed prior to the season. So I'm gonna go Titans, Jaguars, Colts, Texans.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I would have similar. I would flip. I think Colts are number one. I
Colts
think
number one.
I think Daniel Jones is gonna have a resurgence in this
You know what?
Shane Steichen offense.
Dude, the Giants, man. Like
But I mean, you look at all these players. You look at Xavier McKinney went from the Giants to the Packers. Amazing player. You look at Saquon Barkley. Saquon, he looks like a different guy in Philly. And then you look
that
at
went
Daniel
about
Jones.
as worse as you could possibly like. Not only does he go to a division rival, you're like, okay, whatever. He has the most yards, if you count playoffs too, the most yards rushing ever in history. Wins a Super Bowl, wins Offensive Player of the Year, and if that's not enough, he is voted number one by his play. Like
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
constant, just shit on the Giants.
One of
And
the best running
then
back seasons ever.
yeah, and then freaking Daniel Jones leaves there and he's balling out. Like what the
Yeah.
hell, Danny Dimes?
Yeah, I think a lot of that though is like you watch the last 2 weeks of the Colts, and Daniel Jones has time. He's only pressured 10% of his dropbacks. He's got a running game that's super effective. He's got a lot of weapons there in Indianapolis, a lot of underrated weapons. You got Pittman, you got Downs, you got Adonai Mitchell, you got the new rookie tight end Tyler Warren. There's just a lot to like in that Colts offense, and then also think the coaching. Shane Steichen is such a good play caller. You see how he did in Philly, and really, Philadelphia hasn't experienced that same level of play calling since he's left. I think they've missed him. I mean, they've been good, but I think their season with Shane Steichen was probably their best offensive season that they've had, and that was pre Saquon as well. So,
Yeah. All right. So AFC East. Um. Man, I'm gonna put the Dolphins at 4.
oh yeah, by like by a lot too.
I don't know what the heck is going on with that team.
Yeah, Miami's in trouble.
But I got Dolphins 4. You
Yeah,
agree?
yeah,
I got Jets 3. Kind of how I'm looking at it right here.
yeah. I go Jets 3, Patriots 2.
And Bills 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Easy peasy.
Yep.
And then AFC West. I'm going to have the Raiders 4.
Yeah, I agree. Raiders 4.
And then you ready for my hot take?
What's your hot
I
take?
got KC 3.
Really?
I got KC
Under
3.
Chargers and
Under Chargers
Broncos?
and the Broncos.
Mm.
I just, and I know it was a lot last year. They were just kind of winning these games. It was kind of crazy, fluky, and everything else like that. That offense, now that their defense, I mean, they didn't look that great against Justin Herbert, but the defense came to play against Philly. I still trust Steve Spagnuolo in that defense.
Yeah.
That offense just does not look right. It
Yeah.
has not looked right for. I mean, people keep saying Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I haven't seen it for 3 years.
Mm.
I mean, he'll make a wow play here and there. It's like whoa,
Yeah.
but I mean, like I just, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying that offense is just, it's worrisome. Like, what do they have? I know Xavier
Yeah.
Worthy's going to be coming back. They're going to get Rice back.
Yeah. I mean, just in that
But
game on Sunday against Philly, I mean, honestly, I think Patrick Mahomes pretty much did the best he could with what he
oh yeah,
has.
some of
You
those
got an
runs were
aging
ridiculous.
Travis Kelsey. We were without Worthy. You're without Rasheed Rice. You got Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown, and really that's about it outside of an old Travis Kelsey. And you have two running backs, both who are on the older side of things. Pacheco coming off an injury last year. Kareem
Pacheco drives
Hunt.
me crazy.
Yeah,
He'll
Kareem.
have like a 3 yard run and he'll get up like, I'm just like, settle down,
Yeah,
dude.
it's just injuries and just players that are kind of has-beens. I think Casey's offense is in trouble this year. So, but maybe when Worthy comes back and Rasheed Rice end of season, maybe they have a good run at the end. But right now, it's ugly in Philly. They got to play through their defense. Or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in Kansas City. They
No,
got to
it's
play
ugly in
through
Philly. We'll get there. We'll get there.
their.
Yeah, so I got. So it looks like you don't have KC3. You
I
probably
think
have.
I'd probably put. I know I put my division winner Denver Broncos. I think it's hard between those three teams. I want to say KC 3, but I just feel like you can never rule the Chiefs out. So
I feel like they've lost that, call it aura, whatever it is.
yeah,
Like, Philly completely embarrasses you in the Super Bowl. And it's, okay, whatever, you come back, and then the Chargers get you, and then Philly, um, we'll get to it. I think Philly's offense looked atrocious
yeah,
against KC. But what I will say is, what I tell everybody, going in with how you embarrassed KC to go into their place on their home opener. They just lost the week before. They got embarrassed by you in the Super Bowl. They want their get back. Again, it's their home opener. Fans are riled up. Like, to come out of there with a win regardless. And I know there's not much. They don't have much on offense, so it's like, they're kind of handicapped. But still, to come out of there regardless with a win, like, I thought that was impressive in itself. Still have some choice words about how the offense looked. But I just feel like their aura is gone. I don't know. But I have KC 3. I think the Broncos 2, Chargers 1.
yeah. I think it's gonna be tight for those last three teams. I think they're all on pretty similar levels. I think KC's defense is still legit, but I do worry about the offense. So I think I'd probably put just after last night's performance. I don't think the Chargers can run the football. I really don't. I think Justin Herbert's going to have to be on his right arm, and I worry a little bit about the consistency of Herbert. So I think I'd probably put Chargers 3,
Wow.
KC 2, and Denver 1.
Finally, our first
Disagreement.
shakeup. Yeah. NFC North. Oh boy.
Yeah. This is a
All right. Number 4, I got the Bears.
ooh.
Everybody was so high on the Bears. That's all I heard all off season. Everyone's so high on the quarterback,
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I've only seen like 2 or 3 games from Caleb Williams. I know I saw him against the Commanders. He did not look good.
Yeah.
I know the Bears should have won that game if not for the Hail Mary, but honestly, the
Yeah.
Bears had no business winning that game anyway. He looked atrocious. So I think it's because I've only seen like 1 or 2 games, and the games that I've seen of him last year, he was not good. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, Caleb Williams, really? Like, I don't know. I've never been high on the Bears. I have them 4. I
I'd
have
put
the
Minnesota
Vikings
4.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have the Vikings 3,
Yeah.
and I have the Lions 2, and your Packers.
Yeah. Yeah, I would put Minnesota 4. I think week 1, I think Chicago outplayed Minnesota for 3/4 of that football game. And it was just until the end JJ McCarthy had a few little fluky plays, which outside of those few plays, Chicago wins that football game. So I think Chicago beat themselves more than Minnesota beat Chicago. So
Agreed.
I think I'd probably put them 4. Also, just the way that JJ McCarthy looks so far. I mean, and it's not all his fault. His O-line is atrocious. I mean, he's pressured. I think it was 11 out of 14 dropbacks.
Which it'll
in week
be
2.
Carson Wentz the
It
next
will be. Yeah,
2 or
he's-
3. Carson Wentz, look, I know I'm coming from an Eagles fan. He's got it in him
somewhere.
somewhere. he's got, when he's on, he's on. He's either ass or he's really good. It's so it looks
Yeah.
like you have Vikings, Bears, Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right. NFC South, always a weird, stupid division. It's like the stepbrothers of the
Yeah.
NFL. I have the man. This is so hard. I'm still gonna have the Panthers 4. It was between them and the Saints, but I still have the Panthers 4. I think.
I think I put Saints 4.
Saints. Do you have the Panthers 3?
Yeah.
So we just had them
absolutely.
flipped. I have the
Absolutely.
Saints 3. I have the Falcons 2 and the Bucks 1.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think the Buccaneers are probably the best team in this division.
You know, the Eagles dominated last year. The Buccaneers, for whatever reason, have Jalen Hurts' number.
Yeah,
And I don't mean just like the Chiefs. Like, Jalen Hurts only threw for like 101 yards. I kid you not. He threw for 101. But he can win with that. With the Bucks, though, he'll throw for 101 and lose. Like, the Bucks just have our number. We played them after the Rams too, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think the Bucks, their defense is serious and they're big up front, and it's hard for run first teams to play against the Buccaneers. I think that's part of the game. And I think Baker, he's having such a resurgence in his career. He looks confident and he's throwing the football well, and they really do have some good weapons there. Bucky Irving's serious. Mike Evans awesome. The new rookie Egbuka looks great, and then Chris Godwin's going to be coming back later this year. So that's a team that could make a deep run in the playoffs as well.
All right. NFC East, my division. I think I put these guys second in my predictions to you, but I'm going to put the New York Giants last.
Okay.
Although Russell Wilson looked damn good, dude. But I think he looked damn good for a certain reason, and that's because Dallas' defense is trash. Which, by the way, Jalen Hurts still could only throw for 150 yards against this trash defense.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
But I do think Dallas' defense is trash.
Yeah.
They are going to, it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of, and we're going to get to it later in some of our news of the week, but like that Giants-Cowboys game was good in some aspects. Like it's entertaining for people who don't have like a dog in the fight, but honestly, like I just kept looking at it like, wow, that is trash.
Yeah.
Defense.
It was just on both sides of that game. Defense was nowhere to be found, and I think it's hard. I think
Russell Wilson looked like prime Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I think also with Jerry Jones trading away Micah Parsons means that he's punting on this season. I think
I do agree from the standpoint of Micah was not very good against the run. You could literally run at him. The Eagles, what we would do is we would just read him. Like if we can't block him, just read him. But the problem with that is you want to stop the run so bad. Okay, once you stop the run, now how do you rush the passer?
Right. Part of it too is a guy like Micah. When you have to double team a guy like that, it makes all your other matchups on your line so much more favorable. And it also, when you have a guy that can get to the passer that quick, it means your secondary doesn't have to cover for so long. So
we both have the Giants for, or no? It sounds like you have Cowboys for.
No, I believe in the offense of the Cowboys a lot more than the offense of the Giants. So I think I'd put Giants 4.
What's probably gonna surprise you is I have the Commanders 3.
Oh wow.
I know I just said the Cowboys offense is trash, or the defense is trash, and it is. That offense is really good. And Dak Prescott, as much as I hate him as an Eagles fan, dude, him and CD, like they're just dialing it up. And I think the Commanders defense is just so old. And there was a stat, I don't know if it's true anymore because, the season starts and you start trading for people and you bring people up from the practice squad and things change. But there was a true stat that you could take, I think the 8, I'm trying to remember what this was, or you could take the 25, it was something crazy. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it was like an absurd number of Eagles add 8 years to and we still were younger on defense as a roster than the Commanders. Something
Bobby
absurd.
Wagner and Lattimore and all these old guys.
So they're going up against CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Ferguson, Dak Prescott, a decent offensive line, although I think they lost their center.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't know. I have the Commanders. I already see it. You already see. I told everybody like all off season long. Like I'm happy, right? My team won the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah. But all off season long, all I had to hear is about this amazing rookie, and he had an amazing rookie year. And I had to keep telling people like, you remember C.J. Stroud? I remember, as an Eagles fan, I remember Carson Wentz lighting it up in 2017. Never that same guy. Vic, when he came out of prison, 2010, I was like, holy crap, the ultimate weapon. Never was that same guy after that year. Hurts in 2022, really good MVP candidate. Haven't seen that guy since. It's like they got to do it for more than 1 year, and already we're kind of coming with the injuries, subpar games, and look, it's super early. I get it, but I'm just like, defenses figure you out, and then you have to adjust again. And I don't think C.J. Stroud's trash. I don't. I think he's pretty good. But is he this rookie phenomenon that they thought he was yet? No. So and it's not necessarily the offense. I think the quarterback and the offense will be fine. I do. It's just that defense is so old, and I can see Cowboys I can see it just bombs away.
So you'd rather have Cowboys over Commanders at number 2?
Yeah. I think it's Giants, Commanders. I think Commanders, for the record, I think the Commanders and the Cowboys will be close. Will be super close. But I just think it would be Giants, Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah, I'd have them swapped, and that's just because you look week 1, Jaden Daniels looked great against me. Of course, it is the Giants defense, but week 2, Commanders play what might be probably is one of the best defenses in
That's
all
true.
of football. The Green Bay Packers, who the Lions only scored 7 points on in
That's
week
true.
1, and they dropped 52
It's
on the
so
Bears week 2.
it's so hard
So
because I remind people like the first 2 weeks of the season last year, everybody thought the Saints were the damn best team in the league. Like it was 40 to 50 some
Yeah.
points. Like they were smoking everybody, and then they ended up becoming one of the worst teams. I think it was the Saints was the best team. Then for a bit, it kind of went, I think, to like the Bills for a second, and then the Lions, and then it ended up being Eagles. The first 4 weeks, yeah, it's so hard, dude. And you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year,
Yeah,
not at the
it's true.
beginning.
It's
So
true.
it's like right now, is it the Packers? Yeah, and it could still be the Packers at the end. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's not, but
Yeah.
like
Injuries, and it's a long season.
it's so long, dude. It's so long.
It's a long season. But
And
Eagles definitely number 1 in that division. There's no doubt about it.
although I do have concerns, I will get to
Yeah.
our news, but like I have some serious
Yeah, me
concerns
too.
about that offense.
No doubt.
By the way, this podcast kind of started with this guy ribbing me. Like, so were you saying that Jalen Hurts was not a top 10 quarterback?
Yes.
Or not top 10 at all?
Not top 10. And I think
Damn.
the first 2 weeks of season definitely show that.
To be fair, I think he was very efficient week 1. He just didn't bomb his way. Week 2,
Week 2
different
was
story.
ugly.
Different
Ugly,
story.
ugly.
Because I think week 1 he had 4 incompletions, 3 were throwaways, and 1 was a drop by Saquon. And we started touchdown, field goal. And then there was the weather delay, and then neither offense did shit after that. So I even though he only had like 150 yards passing week 1, I was like, he was still pretty efficient and just taking what the defense gave him. They were playing that quarter zone coverage and just not letting anything. So like, okay, I'll just whatever. Week 2 though, oh no, there was people open. He needs to get the ball out of his hands like yesterday. And yeah, week 2 was not a good, because at first I was like, this stupid offense, it's so predictable. And the route concepts sometimes are predictable. And when we run, we always run out of pistol.
I just don't understand how AJ Brown's only had a total of 50 some receiving yards through the first 2 weeks of NFL season. A guy like that who should be an alpha receiver with well over 70, 80 yards every game and several receptions. I mean, it's crazy. And the fact that the longest pass was that underthrown ball to Devontae Smith in week 2.
It's
just
what drives me crazy is they blitz, and our answer to the blitz is like, just throw a go ball, throw it downfield. And half the time Jalen does actually throw a good deep ball. It's usually in stride, but like that one was hella underthrown, and it was just like, thank God Devontae climbed the ladder and went up and got it.
He's so talented.
All 170 pounds of him.
Yeah.
But like, where's the hot routes? Where's throwing into it the blitz? Where's it's just it blows my mind that I don't know, I'm kind of skipping ahead, but like their answer to a blitz is throw deep. Like it feels like it's either small ball, which is, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I guess running is small ball, but when you got Saquon Barkley, I don't mind that. But when I say small ball, I mean like you're throwing behind or at or less than 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. It's all dink and dunk. Like it's either small ball or a go ball.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Like I would love to just
passing.
Yeah, I would love to see the ball travel more than 10 yards. Yeah. Like a 12-yard pass, a 15-yard pass, a 20-yard pass. Like you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. I think Jahan Dotson is so underrated as a number 3. Every time we go to him, he makes a spectacular play and comes through. We just don't target him at all. Hell, we don't target AJ Brown at all. Like with all this, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind that we're making it as hard as it needs to be. The defense is actually playing well. I'm pleased with the defense. I really am. Week 1, that first half, when the Cowboys scored, I think like 20 points. They didn't score anything in the second half, but there were some drops that helped with that. But we understand that. But Jalen Carter wasn't on the field. I'm actually happy with the defense. I think the defense will actually be really good.
Yeah.
But this offense, that's where all the money is, and I don't understand why it's like pulling teeth. Blows me. We should have blew out the Chiefs. We should have absolutely blew them out.
Yeah, it's severely underperforming. There's no doubt.
Sorry, that was like
for all that talent.
What we got? We just NFC West.
NFC West. That's it.
So I have, man, that's hard. I have the Cardinals. I know they're 2-0. I have them at number 4.
Ooh, yeah.
I think the Seahawks. I think I read a stat that the Seahawks actually have the best pressure rate so far.
They do. That defensive line is no joke. And Brandon McDonald is a great defensive coach. So I think the Seahawks are one of those teams that, although the West it's going to be a really competitive division. They're a sleeper team for wild card. I think I'm gonna put. Gosh, I think I like I like San Francisco. I'm just a little worried about the passing game or the run game. I mean, their run game has not gotten going.
They're not that same super team they
They're
used to be.
not. They don't have the O line. They don't have the Jimmies and the Joes right now. I
Mm.
think I'm gonna. It's so hard because I mean Arizona's 2-0, San Fran's 2-0, the Rams are 2-0, Seattle's the only 1-1 team, but I think I'd have to put the Cardinals last as well, and I think I'd put 49ers number 3 for me in this division.
So yeah, you said you have the
Cardinals number
Cardinals 4,
4. I
49ers
just think
3.
they looked poor against the Panthers this last
Yeah.
week in week 2. They
Mhm.
almost gave up the game at the end of in the fourth quarter. They had the Carolina Panthers coming back on them, almost beat them with the onside kick that Carolina recovered. So, and I just think that Kyler he's not this quarterback that's ever been dominant. And I just think also, I think the Cardinals made a mistake drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. over Malik Neighbors. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I just
Mhm.
think that Marvin Harrison isn't even in the same stratosphere as Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors he's just as good as Jamar Chase. I guess that's my hot take. I think
You're
he's
talking to someone who they drafted Nelson Aguilar over Justin Jefferson.
yeah.
So
I think he's just the talent level. I really think had Marvin Harrison been evaluated on a pure talent standpoint instead of name value, I think the Cardinals take Neighbors over Harrison. But I think he was so highly touted and regarded coming out of Ohio State. I mean, of course, Neighbors came out of LSU, but coming out of Ohio State, his dad's a Hall of Famer, played with Peyton Manning. I think his name value is really what steered the Cardinals. They thought he was the safe pick, and unfortunately, I just don't think he has the explosive separation to be a great receiver in this league. And I mean, I think the Cardinals, they're an up and comer. I think in a few years they do have some draft capital, and they got some good young guys. We got Will Johnson, the rookie from Michigan. He's looking like a really good corner, but I don't think that they have the I don't think they have the O line and the D line that can push around some of these other big teams, in the NFC West, and keep up with some of the firepower like the Los Angeles Rams. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to put them number 4.
Yeah, so for me it's Cardinals 4. Mm, I'm gonna go Seahawks 3, San Fran 2. I
Okay.
hate to do it. I just the Shanahan offense,
Yeah,
like he'll figure something
he
out.
does. He's a good coach.
And the Rams 1. You
I
are
would go Niners 3, and then Hawks 2, and Rams 1 in that division.
alrighty. So I'll go over my wild card teams. I'll try to seed them. So in the AFC, I'm gonna have the Bills 1. I know it's so hard. I'm gonna have the Bills 1, Ravens 2. Um, I'm gonna have Chargers 3,
Okay.
Colts 4,
Mhm.
and for my wild card teams, I'm gonna have.
You had the Texans win in the South, right?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Did I really?
Yeah, pretty sure you had the Texans win in the South.
Shit. All right. Well, screw that. I'll have the Bills 1, Ravens 2. Uh, Still gonna be the Chargers 3,
Okay.
Texans 4,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have the Broncos 5,
Okay.
and Steelers 6,
Okay. Mm.
and the Colts 7.
Okay. Colts. 7
And
seed.
then I'll just get in my Super Bowl. Actually, let me do my. Oh, what about your AFC? Sorry.
I'm gonna go Ravens 1. I really think that the Ravens outplayed the Bills in Week 1, and I think just Josh Allen pulled off of one of his miracle games. It was such a good game, one of the all-time classics.
Ravens were like dominating that for the most
Yeah,
part.
they really were. I think they're a team on a mission too. I mean, I think the Bills are as well, but just think when you look at that roster, the Ravens are just so well built.
Now, part of me I do think if the Ravens and Bills were to meet in the playoffs, I would probably predict as of right now the Ravens.
Yeah.
The reason why I had the Bills is just that division.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point. It is but I do think with the Joe Burrow being out, I think that does make a difference. I think the Ravens are going to outclass the other three. But yeah, I think I'd choose Ravens 1, Bills 2. 3 seed is tough. I think it's going to be somebody from the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
I really think the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos winning it, right?
Yeah, the AFC West. I think the Broncos are going to be the 3 seed. I think that they're just getting started. I think the Colts are a lot better than people initially predicted, myself included. So I think that was a harder game in week 2. I mean, although their week 1 didn't look super dominant either, but I think that team, they'll get off and running, and that defense is serious. So, for my 4 seed, I'm gonna have the Colts. Who's my 5 seed? 5 seed. I think 5 seed probably Chargers. You don't have Chiefs making the playoffs.
I do not. Hot take.
5 seed. 5 seed Chargers. 6 seed. I'm actually gonna go. Oh my gosh, I don't know who. It's either Texans or Jags for my money. I think the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence. It's so hard to know. That's another offense that's underperforming right now. But I'm gonna have to go Jags. 6 seed. I think 7 seed. I go Chiefs.
I was gonna say, are you not gonna have them in the playoffs? And I know I'm gonna look stupid because it's gonna be like week 17 and the Chiefs are winning their division or something. I'm like, what the hell? They look like shit the first 2 weeks. I know because I remember always thinking the Patriots when they were struggling early, how the Dolphins would beat them every other game or something. I'd be like, this is the year they're finally done, and I'd
keep thinking they're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
Yep.
So might look stupid at the end of the year, but yeah. So for me, I would just do Super Bowl matchup and winner.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we didn't do NFC.
Yeah.
NFC, sorry. All right, NFC. I'm gonna have a certain somebody's Green Bay Packers at number 1.
1 seed, okay.
Although that division you're in does scare me.
Yeah,
that's a lot of
tough division.
That's a lot of difficult games.
Although I really only feel like the Lions might only be the hard one this year. I think the Bears and the Vikings are gonna struggle.
If I didn't if your division scared me so much that I was scared to pick the Packers, it would not be my Eagles that I would pick number 1. It'd be the Rams.
Yeah.
But I think Packers 1.
Okay.
I think Rams 2.
Ooh. Okay.
I think Eagles 3. And Buccaneers 4. 5. Going to go to the Lions.
Okay.
6. I'm gonna go. Do I really want to?
A few moments later.
Yeah.
Okay.
6. I'll do.
One eternity later.
I'll do the Vikings.
Okay.
And 7. I got the Cowboys.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I think Philly's got such a tough schedule that I don't see them.
Tough.
I don't see them getting
even the Giants, we play the Giants twice coming up. And it's not back to back, but it's close together, wrapped around a bye week. And I'm like, oh man, the Giants twice and the Raiders. Yeah. There you go. I think we play the Bears too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Depending on how you feel about the Bears. That's it. Everybody else, it's Packers, Lions. Well, we have our division too. I'm hoping I'm right about the Commanders, because we need every easy game we can get. Yeah. If we already beat the Cowboys once, and so if the Giants are and it was just the Cowboys' trash defense that made them look good, and the Commanders are as old as I think they are, and we already beat the Dallas, maybe we can make some wins and hay there, but
it's gonna be tough.
Man, dude, it's a ridiculous schedule.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now at least it looks like the Packers are the most complete team
for sure
in football. So I'm gonna have to say 1 seed.
I don't count that as bias whatsoever because the way they look, of course.
Yeah. I think the addition of Micah Parsons, it's a game changer. It was something our defense had always missed as an elite
Jordan Love
player.
has to come up.
And he does.
in the
And,
moment.
and really, what's cool is like we're not a heavy pass volume offense. What we're doing is when we drop back with play action or whatever it is, we're looking for chunk plays in the passing game. So Josh Jacobs is looking great. Our O-line and D-line have looked good. I mean, of course, injuries can happen, so anything can happen. But I think I'd have to go Packers 1 seed. For the 2 seed, man, I really think I know you chose Rams. I think I really am high on Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay gets the 2 seed. I think that's such a
Okay.
weak division.
That's a
And
solid
I
pick.
think they
That's
have an easy road. I think their defense is serious.
if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Dude, their receivers they're aging, man.
Mike Evans is old, but they got Ibuka. Chris Godwin's gonna come back. Bucky Irving he's legit. I mean, even Rashad White last night looked awesome. So
Who's that one receiver that's got that weird name? He scored like 3 touchdowns already.
On the Bucks?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like, man, what's it?
it's not Sterling Shepard. What's his name?
It's got a name I can't even. I'd have to hear how it's pronounced to know. It's like I think he's a rookie. Maybe he's not a rookie.
Emeka Ibuka?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Emeka Ibuka. Yeah, so that's I think the Bucks are gonna be really good. Eagles are so talented, and I think they're so good. They're gonna bully a lot of teams. I agree. I think Eagles 3 seed. I gotta go.
So you got the Rams 4.
Rams 4. I'm going Detroit 5. I go in Seattle 6. I really think Seattle is one of these teams that's gonna be really good down the stretch. And 7 seed. I think Washington Commanders. I'd say they'll get into that wild card. They'll slide in there. I'm a believer in Jaden Daniels and that Cliff Kingsbury offense. So those would be my picks.
Cool. All right, Super Bowl. For me, I got the Baltimore Ravens representing the AFC. For the NFC, I mean, look, you can't deny what you're seeing. That defense is ridiculous. I mean, the pass rusher they got, I mean, from the Lions anyway. So I gotta go to Philadelphia Eagles. Look,
Homer pick.
It's a little bit of a homer pick. I keep telling myself how the Eagles looked the first 4 weeks of the season. It was in Brazil. It was kind of a wonky game, but they didn't look all that great against your Packers week 1. They got the win.
Yeah.
Week 2, then they lose to the Falcons on Monday Night Football at home. Now again, Saquon makes that easy ass catch. They win, but still you lose, and then you give up a touchdown and it felt like 30 seconds to Kirk Cousins. And this Falcons team looked like crap against Pittsburgh the week prior. Then they go and we beat who everybody thought was going to go to the Super Bowl in the Saints. We gave them their first loss, but it was like, I forget what the score was, but I'm serious. It was like a freaking 9-12 game. It was some weird thing where it was like pulling teeth to get first downs. It was ridiculous. And then we lose and get destroyed. Like, I forget what the score was, but it was like 34-17 or 31-17 against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
That did not look like a Super Bowl team to start the year. Then we go into a bye week, and then we come out and we barely beat the Browns. And that's when Sirianni was yelling at fans in the stands and everything else. So, the first 5 games, the Eagles did not look. So I keep telling myself that. However, it was a very easy fix. Stop throwing the ball so much. Start running more. Well, here we are kind of looking like crap, and we are already running. So what's the fix this time? You know what I mean? So it's like you don't have that easy.
Also, if you get behind with some of these good teams, in your schedule, it's like you got to throw the football at some point.
And it's just not like this.
Got to get it going. This
offense where it's just like clawing and I get you get it to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You got this cheat code. I get that, but you're making it so hard.
Yes.
This anemic offense.
Everything's so hard.
And
you explosive plays.
Yeah, and you just can't live that way. You can't. Some plays. Look, I love tiring out a defense and going on a long drive and tiring them out because that's going to pay dividends later in the game.
Yeah.
But you just can't. You need like a 4-play, 6-play drive sometimes.
Yes.
It can't just always be like 14, 15, 16 plays. it's just not sustainable. And the reason why it was sustainable last year is because you would have Saquon Barkley who would break it for 60.
Yeah, he's breaking 70, 80-yard runs.
You know, so I don't know. We have a new offensive coordinator. They decided to promote from within, which drives me crazy because you don't get the fresh new ideas. We'll see. But I keep telling myself, like, you know, there is a art to winning. By the way, did you see that Chris Jones, Jalen Hurts exchange?
Yeah, the 100 yards. Yeah.
He's like, you didn't even have 100 yards, which actually, Chris Jones, you're wrong. He threw for 101 yards. But anyway, like, and then Jalen Hurts is like, who won the fucking game or whatever?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's why also, like, I'm not buying the Chiefs that much. Like, that doesn't come, like, you're bringing up stats. Like, what's the most important thing? I feel like the Chiefs would be the ones that know. Like, because look at the way you guys were winning last year.
Yeah.
Like, you of all people should know a win's a win. You got to the Super Bowl. You got destroyed in the Super Bowl, but you got to the Super Bowl in some crazy-ass ways.
They were not a 15-2 team.
Yeah. So it's like, just get the win.
It's wild.
And there is something to, look, weeks 1 through 4, like early September makes liars of us all. Like, just stack up W's while you can. I get that, but man, something has to change. The reason why I'm picking the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl, and it's about a 15% homer pick. There's something to knowing how to win in the playoffs. It's just like having a veteran type, even though they're young, having that experience. Because the Chiefs, I know they went 15-2, but dude, they did not look dominant in any way, shape, or form. Once it got to the playoffs, not that they were dominating the Bills or the Texans or whatever, but they just looked a little more convincing. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Now all of a sudden, and it's the playoffs. It's just something, I don't know. And the weather is colder.
They've been there a lot, man. That team's, they're seasoned. You know, they know how to win when it matters the most.
The weather's colder, so running the footballs, but the Eagles can kind of power and lean on people a little bit more. The one thing I will say is if they don't get that 1 seed and they have to go to Green Bay, that's what would worry me.
Yes. Also, I just think you get, I mean, you know, there's going to be a game where you get a game script where you're behind by a couple scores, and can you find a way to come back and where you can't run the football and just bully people that way? Can you find a way to make some explosive plays to catch up? That's, you know, before time runs out, that's definitely an unknown, I'd say, with this Eagles football team.
Now, I will say, like, I picked the Eagles as the 3 seed. I picked the Packers as the 1 seed. If we have to go to Green Bay, watch the podcast that week because I'll probably go against my prediction. And, well, I don't know because if I predicted it earlier in the year, I might just stick with it, just ride it. But
ride it out.
I would be super nervous going to Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
Lambeau's a hard place to play.
Yeah. However, if we had to travel to Los Angeles, a lot of Eagles fans. That's a home game for us.
Yeah, I mean, most away teams travel pretty well because there's so many fans in LA.
So, I mean, like, that wouldn't worry me as much. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I do have Ravens and Eagles, and I have the Ravens winning it.
Yeah.
See, not Homer.
I think Ravens definitely AFC. I think this is a team that's just every year, and I think this might be the last year the Ravens really have in this Super Bowl window to really make this team, this super team that they have, pay off. I mean, there's AFC is so competitive, but I just think you look at their division, I think they're head and shoulders above Steelers, Browns, and now Bengals, especially without Joe Burrow and having a poor defense.
If somehow the Chiefs get in there again, dude, like Lamar, Allen, bro, like what the?
Somebody's got to take them out. But yeah, I think this is the year. I think the Chiefs will make the wild card, but for them to go on the road through the whole playoffs, I don't see the Chiefs having the guys this year to do it. So
I'm telling you, we're gonna look so stupid.
I'm gonna take Ravens, AFC, and I think as of now, I'm gonna homer pick as well. I'm gonna take my Green Bay Packers.
I don't even think that's a homer pick because, like, if I didn't pick the Eagles, it would be the Packers. I'm trying not to be a prisoner of the moment. I'm trying so hard.
I just saw the way that the Packers defense looked the last 2 weeks. You got a super explosive Lions offense. You got a decently explosive Commanders offense. Both were just paralyzed by.
I was so hoping. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was so hoping that the Lions would look like shit again. It's like I'd be like, that wasn't a quality win. Look.
Lions are legit, and that was a pretty convincing win, especially over your old offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. That was pretty interesting to see him drop 52 on. I think it was in Chicago too, wasn't it? Or no, it was in Detroit. It was in Detroit. Mm-hmm. But pretty convincing win by Detroit, and so I think it just shows the quality of Packers defense, and that's just something that we haven't had in Green Bay for a long time. So,
Alrighty. So now we have that MVP.
ooh, MVP.
My MVP, I am going to go Josh Allen.
Gosh,
He's already got the
yeah.
win over Lamar, which is going to help.
Yeah, that's true. That's
their
true.
records are, you would have to think, are probably going to be pretty darn similar. They're both going to win their division.
Yeah.
Lamar's going to probably have more rushing touchdowns. Josh will probably have more throwing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Beating him is going to help a lot, I think, even though it was week 1.
Yeah.
That's the only time they're going to play. So
I think the Ravens get the 1 seed, so I think I would say Lamar. I'd be on the opposite end of that. But I think probably those two guys, I mean, I don't have the betting odds in front of me, but those two guys have to be somewhere near the top of those odds. I'm just trying to think, if it was an NFC player, who would you think MVP would be?
if it was an NFC?
Yeah. That's a little harder, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, long shot, Jordan Love. I mean, he cooks the rest of the season.
That's
I mean,
true.
the Packers
Yeah,
get the
you
1
probably,
seed.
You probably would have to go Jordan Love.
You know, because just it seems like it. A lot of times when you get the 1 seed and the quarterback of that 1 seed team usually is pretty darn good odds. But I'm just trying to think who else. I mean, maybe
Matthew
long shot Baker.
Matthew Stafford, but I don't think he'll stay healthy.
Yeah, or Baker. What about Baker Mayfield? You know,
True.
what I mean, I think he's already thrown 5 touchdown passes this year, 4 or 5. So I mean, Baker Mayfield could be like a good long shot if for whatever reason, and plus Tampa Bay, it's not a hard division. They could very well get the 1 seed. They have a good defense, and that's kind of interesting. But
Offensive Player of the Year. I'll have you go first in this one because I did say Jamar Chase, and it absolutely still could be. We're just 2 weeks in the season. He still had a decent week too.
I think I said Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know if he's going to get enough carries to really be able to win that award. I think Montgomery still has a too big of a snap share there. In Detroit,
I know who mine is.
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm just trying to think who's through 2 weeks. I mean, Bijan Robinson looks amazing. I just don't know if that Falcons team, if they're gonna be high powered enough of an offense. What's yours?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, really? Even after week 2?
It was just a fumble, but he was
11
gashing them,
rushes for 23
which is
yards.
so weird. I get so irritated, and even more so now because like I have a dog in this fight now since we have Saquon. He's not going to really beat you. He's not shifty. He's powerful. He's not shifty. He's shifty for a big man, but like he's just downhill all the time, and teams continue to allow him to go downhill untouched. I'm talking even untouched. And I know the threat with Lamar that's something you have to take into account. It probably helps Derek so much.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can see him just racking up the yards this year.
Yeah. Another guy, might be more of a long shot just because the team he's on, but gosh, they're 2 weeks of the season. I don't know if there's any receiver better than Malik Neighbors right now. I know the Giants are probably going to get the either 3rd or 4th place in the NFC East, but goodness gracious, like you just have those guys throwing to Malik Neighbors 20 times a game. I mean, he could very well have the most yards, most catches, and he could win the Triple Crown this year in the NFC. So I guess maybe that's mine. I'll say Malik Neighbors is a long shot.
Malik Neighbors, nice. Defensive Player of the Year.
Got to be Micah Parsons. I think he's going to have double-digit sacks
I think
year.
Micah's got the notoriety, the name, the spotlight. It's going to be on him.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got that advantage. I'm going to go Myles Garrett.
Ooh, on the Browns. Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, like, they can be somewhat mediocre to bad teams.
Yeah.
MVP, you got to have to be on a winning team.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that.
Last year's
because
was
Bengals. Or no, it was Saquon.
Last year's was Pat Surtain on the Denver Broncos.
And they were mid.
Yeah, they were okay. I think a guy, just watching last night, Derek Stingley on the Houston Texans, he locked down Mike Evans. He is so talented, and he's young, and that could be a decently good Houston Texans team. That's another guy I
Coming
could
out
see.
of training camp, I was really, really high on Quinyon Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was giving
Yeah,
A.J.
he's
Brown freaking fits.
Oh, he's good.
The first 2 weeks, he's not giving up much or anything like that, so he's not playing bad by any means. I would even say he's above average to good, just not dominant yet. And he's probably going to need some interceptions, and that boy does not have hands, man. He should have picked off Dak on that one pass. Like, it's just does not have hands.
Yeah.
Rookie offensive player of the year.
Ooh, rookie offensive.
I feel like most of our podcasts are going to be predictions, and we're going to like fly by the rest of us.
Hampton and Jonty, I don't know, through 2 weeks, man, they're just not getting used like I thought they would for a first round running back. I just think this is why teams aren't investing a lot of draft capital into running backs. I just think that there's so much value to be had in some of these late round guys that turn out to be so good. Outside of guys like, you got your Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan, but I think those guys are more special than these two first rounders this year. I mean, at least so far from what it appears. I also think part of it is I don't think the Chargers have a good O-line, but at least for run blocking. But I'm trying to think who I would put for offensive player or rookie of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Cam Ward's he's got to be probably up there just because he is a QB.
That's what I was thinking was Cam Ward.
But if I was going to make a prediction, if it wasn't a quarterback like Cam Ward, I mean, Jackson Dart, if he takes over Russell Wilson's spot and he has a good end of season, possibly. Just trying to think, man.
I had to
look and see who's there.
Yeah.
I don't think Matthew Golden. Maybe Egbuka. Right now, I mean, that kid on the Buccaneers. I mean, if Godwin doesn't come back healthy,
that's true.
Egbuka could definitely be. He looks good. He looks explosive. It's a good offense. Egbuka is one of those guys I think that could be there. That's a good one. I might even just roll with that.
I think you're gonna do it with Egbuka.
I think so.
I'm still going to roll with Genty. I know it hasn't been a great 2 weeks. Trying not to be prisoner of the moment. It's a long season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel great about that. Defensive rookie of the year.
Oh, Jalen Carter, New York Giants. I think he was the best
defensive
player. Or Abdul Carter, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably a safe pick.
He's got to be the best defensive player in that class, and he looks really good.
Okay, coach of the year.
I'm changing mine.
Yeah.
I'm certainly changing mine from my preseason. Who's yours? I got mine.
Oh man, I don't even know yet.
Shane Steichen. I mean, it's just like
Shane Steichen. Okay.
Through the first 2 seasons, I mean, you just look at the improvement. I mean, a lot of that too is like I think what it really shows is the fact that Shane Steichen has had 2 decent seasons with Anthony Richardson at quarterback. And I think Daniel Jones, although he's not a world beater, the fact that he's able to run an offense well, and make NFL level throws, I just think it shows how it just highlights the level of coaching from Shane Steichen, and the fact that this is going to be a decent team. This is going to be a playoff team.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with Harbaugh.
Ooh.
Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jim.
Okay. I knew it wasn't John, but I was like,
John's the Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jim Harbaugh. I mean, I feel like he's almost like a media darling. Like they want to give him something, and so if they have a reason.
Yeah, he's got the family name, and and he's been a decent coach in LA. That's a good one.
All right, so that's our 2025 to 2026 NFL season predictions that are most certainly going to be wrong, but you heard it here first. Yep. Next, we got some weekly news. We'll do the Chiefs-Eagles game. Chiefs 0-2, man.
Yeah.
I know a lot of this we kind of brushed over, so I feel like a lot of this is going to be quick.
Yeah.
But
first time since Patrick Mahomes' sophomore season, the Chiefs have been 0-2.
And first time ever that lost 3 in a row to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just highlights the fact that the Chiefs they're just not the same team. I mean, Chris Jones is still good, but he's not prime. That defense doesn't have
Kelsey's
some of the fire. Yeah, but he's old, man. He's old, and I think also just Travis Kelce. He's not only does he have football money, but he's got so much going on off the field too. I don't think that he's 100% in his head's in football.
And then it's like the offensive line. I mean, it might not be from the Super Bowl anymore, but like it's not great.
Yeah.
I think they lost their tackle in the game against the Eagles as well, their left tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a season ending or if it's just a game or something, but I talk about the Eagles and how their offense looks like it's in quicksand. Like, dude, the I don't even know how good the Eagles defense is because
Yeah.
the Chiefs just make it so damn easy to. um,
I do think the Eagles are. I think they're hurting a little bit at the corner position outside of Quinyon
Yes.
Mitchell. I think the Eagles they could use a second
and I
corner,
think
dominant corner.
I think they are all about trading for one. We just gotta wait, 4 or 5 weeks for a bad team to be sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I'm
have
not.
a lot of draft capital.
There's a
too.
lot of talk about Ward from the Browns.
Oh yeah, he'd be a good one.
But I think what the hell's his name? Bennett. We got him from the Raiders. He was more stickier than Dory Jackson. Dory Jackson, I'm gonna tell you, straight booty juice. Like that guy is. If you saw him against the Cowboys, you saw like he's running into his teammates. He's against the run that Miles Sanders run. Like he just didn't know what he was doing. He's right there. He didn't set the edge. He can't tackle. Like dude is just so bad. He's so bad. I look at the Eagles defense and am beginning to fall in love with every other position on that defense. I love I know we lost Milton Williams, who's lighting it up for the Patriots.
He sure is. He looks good.
But I still love our defensive tackles. I like Moro Jomo, who most people don't know yet, but I like him. Obviously, Jalen Carter doesn't need an introduction.
Yeah, he's top 5 defensive player in the
We
league.
got that. What's his name now? We got the defensive end that was from the Lions.
Ooh.
We signed him off the street because Lions couldn't get enough. But he looked damn good against the Chiefs, and like I think he played like 20 snaps. But in those 20 snaps, he looked damn good. Now he's fresh. He didn't go through a training camp, but he's 34, so it's not like he's like this great answer. But he looked good. And you got some fastballs. That's what I call them, fastballs. Jalix Hunt, who was the converter from safety, he's really good. Got a sack on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And Nolan Smith, who's really good, sets the edge, plays the run really good too. One thing I always do, people care so much about sacks. They get a defensive lineman, and it's all, he had like 9 sacks last year. He must be good. It's so much more than just sacks. Like, you're talking 9 plays in a whole season. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's so much more. What's the pressure rate? How good are they against the run? I look at so much more than just sacks.
Yeah.
But he played really good. So I'm actually kind of liking our defensive lineman. I wouldn't mind getting like one more somewhere. But I do like it. Obviously, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. So our Makuba, dude, always run the ball. Good. So he got an interception and a fumble recovery in a preseason game, and I'm like, it's preseason. But he got trucked by Patrick Mahomes. That can't happen. But
yeah, he wasn't a good tackler in college either, truthfully.
But he had a really good tackle on a third down behind the sticks on I think it was Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm. Good interception off Travis Kelce.
And like so he's always around. You can't let an offensive lineman tackle you though, dude.
Yeah.
But although that dude was fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Makuba. Reed Blankenship's just steady. I like our linebackers. Oh my god. Oh dude, our linebackers, man. It's been so long. As Eagles fans, if there's Eagles fans watching this, they never put a premium on linebackers. It was just not a position they really cared about. It was always just patchwork linebackers. We have Zach Bond, and Jahad Campbell's going to be a good one.
Yeah, he's legit. I couldn't believe he dropped to the
Eagles. Dude, those two linebackers, playing with each other, man. I love our linebackers.
Yeah.
It's literally just a Dory Jackson, dude. He's the only one.
I think Eagles this year, if they're gonna go far, they're gonna need to play through their defense. I just think that offense and it's not that they don't have talent. That's not it at all. The offensive line is insanely talented, and of course, when you have skill guys like Saquon and AJ
That's where all our
Brown
money
and,
is. It's not where all our money is gonna
and
be.
Devontae,
when we have to start paying these guys, but
I
that's
mean,
where all our money is.
I hate to go back to Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts, he's holding back this offense.
We're gonna get there. Oh, we're gonna get there.
There's no doubt about it.
We're gonna, because that's what sparked this whole podcast in the
Yeah.
first place. That's our debates. So,
I think some of it's coaching. I don't think you can put it all on Jalen Hurts' shoulders. I think kind of like, I mean, I'm a huge, I don't know if you can tell, huge Shane Steichen fan, but I just don't think since that season Hurts has looked the same. And I think there's a lot that goes into that. I think a lot of it's scheme. I think a lot of it also and I think everyone knew this coming out of college. Hurts wasn't a great thrower of the football. Now, when he's put in a scheme where the threat of his legs and his athleticism combines with, the throwing, I think he is a really good quarterback in a particular offensive system. But when he's outside of that, I just think he looks very average. And it's crazy because AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are so talented. I mean, really,
Devontae Smith, I think, is the most underrated receiver in the NFL.
It's hard to even think that there's really maybe only a couple teams that have a better duo in the league. Maybe
Other than the
Higgins
Bengals,
and
who?
Chase. I'm trying to think. I mean,
CD and
maybe in the
are
past
up
it was
there.
Waddle and Hill, but Hill's
yeah,
old.
not now,
Hill's
yeah.
old. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Pickens, GP, and CD that's a pretty good duo
Amon-Ra
too.
and Jameson Williams is
That's pretty good
good too.
Yeah.
Going back to the defense real quick, like I said, Dory Jackson is the only blemish. If they can somehow fix that, I'm in love with this defense. And it's crazy. The Eagles have been running this Vic Fangio defense, which the whole premise is don't get beat deep. Have teams have to take 13, 14, 15,
Bend,
16
don't break.
plays
Yeah.
downfield, and eventually they'll screw up and we'll capitalize on it. We've had, I think, Jim Schwartz was kind of running like a Vic Fangio style. We had, and God, I forget his name now, but in 2023, I forget his name. He was running a Vic Fangio style. I think even before Jim Schwartz, we had some guy that was running a Vic Fangio, like these Vic Fangio disciples who were running his scheme. So when I first found out that we were getting Vic Fangio, I was not happy. I'm like, this scheme, yeah, you won't get beat deep. Meanwhile, you'll just get freaking bledged to death again and again and again, and you're tired because you just had a 16-play drive. They're just wearing you out. Vic Fangio, apparently, there's something about getting the originator of it because I trust him. I completely trust him. What he did, because in 2023, that was the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was bad.
First round exit versus the Bucks.
Yeah, and again, it helps when you get Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean added on to that. But it just completely changed. And then he brings in Zach Bond, and I'm thinking we have shit linebackers again last year because I'm like, who's this Zach Bond guy? He's gonna be our starting linebacker, really?
Off the street.
Hey, he was just an edge rusher from the Saints. He never really played linebacker or off ball, and dude had honestly, I might be biased, but he should have been Defensive Player of the Year. I truly believe it. Dude was ridiculously consistent every freaking game. The shit he would do. I love Vic Fangio. I think this Eagles defense, especially by the end of the year, barring crazy injuries, will be a top 5 defense. They are really that good. This offense. All right. So I am not comparing Jalen Hurts to Tom Brady. I am not doing it. I can feel the eye rolls from listeners.
There we go.
You are crazy.
There is a skill to winning. Jalen Hurts was 2-2. We ended up going, was it 14-3? 14-3. I forget how many games there are in a season now. He was 10. Oh, hold on. I got to think about this. 14-3. So he won the last 16 games if you don't count the game that he lost when he got injured in the first quarter against the Commanders. And then he won the first 2 this season. This man has won 18 straight football games. And there's just something, to just say it like that. And there's something to be said about just winning. And if he's never shown it, if he's never ever shown it, I would put more water or more weight into it. But in the first Super Bowl, the Super Bowl he lost, dude, like he was dropping dimes. Like there was one pass to Goddard was like just over the guy's outstretched hand, and it was like a third and I forget what it was, third and long. Um, and then this Super Bowl, it was mostly the defense. Like if I had to sit there and just give one group, and now you can't give the whole group the MVP. That's why Hurts got it. But like, yeah, the defense was the Kyler.
Josh Sweat was the guy.
I want Cooper DeJean to get
Cooper
it so
DeJean
bad.
played
I wanted
well,
him to
too.
get it so bad. I was rooting for him. But like Hurts still played well again. He played well in the NFC Championship game. When he has to, like absolutely, like when he has to, he comes through. It's like early on, Tom Brady wasn't throwing for 300 yards. He was throwing for like 175, 220, like somewhere in there.
But this is how many seasons with Jalen Hurts into the
But
playing on
he
the
has a new
Eagles.
offensive coordinator every year.
Well,
Every year. In 2022, when he had your boy Shane Steichen, he was second in the MVP voting.
That's his only season though where he's performed well.
I think a lot of it is a stupid. Like, do you think it's Jalen Hurts' fault that we don't have hot routes or any kind of blitz speeders? It's just let's throw deep when they were blitzing, or do you think that's a coaching thing?
I think it's a mixture. I just don't think they trust Hurts in some of those situations. I will
say it's not good that we're 2-2. Hey, how can we get better? Hey, Hurts, throw less.
Yeah,
I do think that's an indictment.
I think there's definitely something to be said about that. I think that the coaches, they trusted him to put the ball in safe spots. I think they would probably let him sling it a little more. And the other part of it too is like when you have Saquon Barkley on your football team, you're going to run against really heavy boxes, and you're probably going to get a lot of one-on-ones outside with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And so it just blows my mind that like this should be a team where, of course, not every week, you're going to throw for 303 touchdowns, but it should be consistently, 200 plus and a couple touchdowns. It's some of that scheme, but
he's got like 55 rushing touchdowns.
And
we won't talk about how many of those are him being pushed by the 1 yard. Although in week one there were legit rushing touchdowns, but
yeah, I think it's some of both. But I think you put a lot of these other quarterbacks in the league and on that team, and I think they look pretty. Awesome.
I would absolutely take your basic top four. I think it's almost everybody's unanimous top four in whatever order you want to do it in: Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Burrow. I think Burrow is the best passer of the four. I think Lamar presents the most ridiculous problems. I think Josh is a good hybrid of both.
Yeah.
And Mahomes has got the resume, if that makes sense. So if Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl this year, well, keep in mind even without winning the Super Bowl this year, he's had 5 years in the league. Do you know he's been to one Super Bowl? He's been in that Super Bowl. He's won one Super. He's been to two Super Bowls, won one, and in that one, he's a Super Bowl MVP. Do you know that's the exact same as Patrick Mahomes in his first 5 years? Like, at some point, resume matters because I feel like he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Yeah,
because I feel like you only get in the Hall of Fame in two ways. Either one, you're so individually gifted.
Think about last season though. People never said like, "Oh well, Mahomes' team carried him like through a whole season." There's a lot of games where it's like, "Oh, Mahomes 5 touchdowns," like 400 yards. Like you look at last season, A.J. Brown's on the sideline reading books because he's not getting thrown the football, and I feel like the first 2 weeks of this season, it's the same thing again. It's A.J. Brown 1 catch, 20 yards. It's like.
So I was so ready to debate you, except I had COVID. So after week one, I couldn't come in and have this debate. But it was so funny. I wish I had it here, but it was kind of like I think it was actually. You watch First Things First?
Mm-mm.
No. I think it was Kevin. I think his name's Kevin. Kevin Wilds put out this text, and it was hilarious. It's like Jalen Hurts, like. Don't run so much, and don't throw to your wide receivers and everything because they're too good. And don't run with Barkley, and don't do the tush push too much, and don't do this, and don't do this, and I don't know, maybe block a punt. Like all this stuff that you have to do to finally get credit. And it was hilarious because the Eagles won week one. A.J. Brown had 1 catch, 8 yards. Devontae Smith had like 16 yards. Saquon Barkley, I think, had like 60 yards rushing. You can't say the Eagles' defense was any kind of shutdown. I'm like, but they won. Is that because of Jalen Hurts. And I think Jalen Hurts was the reason the Eagles won week
1. I think their defense, honestly,
1.
won in week 1.
I don't know, man. It was touchdown, field goal the first coming out of the gate.
It's a team sport. There's no doubt about it.
And
you look at, stats matter too. And
do you think Eli Manning's going to be in the Hall of Fame sometime? Not first ballot, but do you think he'll get in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he won a couple Super Bowls.
Do you think he's better than Jalen Hurts?
In his prime, yes. I would take Eli over Jalen Hurts any day in his prime. I think he was a better thrower of the football. I think he was better at checking into favorable plays. I think he was smarter than Jalen Hurts.
Do you think if Jalen Hurts wins a Super Bowl this year, he doesn't have to be a Super Bowl MVP. He just wins a Super Bowl this year. Now he's got 2 Super Bowl wins. He's been to 3. He's been a Super Bowl MVP once, maybe twice. Do you think he's now he's probably gonna be Hall of Fame or damn near close?
I don't know.
Right
Context
on the edge.
matters. Context matters.
Do you think?
Context matters because when you're on a super team, you take a lot of these other quarterbacks in the NFL, and they would look a lot better than Jalen Hurts. Like, let's be real. I mean, C.J. Stroud on that Eagles team, that's a super team. I mean, there's so many more things you can do.
Let me put it to you this way:
C.J. Stroud,
Jalen Hurts threw for 101 yards and came out of Arrowhead. Think about everything that was against them. They got embarrassed by you in the Super Bowl. They want their lick back. It's their home opener. It's Arrowhead. And they lost to a division rival week 1. They don't want to go to 0-2. So everything is riding against you. You're going into that hostile environment in Arrowhead. He threw for 101 yards and got the win. Russell Wilson threw for 450 in a loss. I guarantee you Russell Wilson would rather have the 101 and get the win.
Yeah, but
because I'm just saying, Jalen Hurts truly does not care about his stats.
Look at the supporting cast of Russell Wilson. I mean,
according to you, he's got the offensive player of the year.
Well, that's about it, though. Look at his defense. I mean, look at his running game. He doesn't have the same
according to you, I'm just going to say he's got the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, and he's got Rookie Defensive Player of the Year on his team.
Yeah, but you look at the whole cast. It's a team sport. So I think context matters too. When you're on a super team, and to be truthful, Eagles are a super team.
I'm never going to suggest that Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. He's got leg talent or this talent. He can bench press or squat, whatever. He's got other talents, but just as a quarterback, talent-wise, I'm not going to put him in the same category as those top 4 players. I'm not going to put him in the same category as Matthew Stafford or Jordan Love. Or I'm not going to put him in that same category. I just say there's that certain knack for understanding the game and what you have to do in winning. I don't think he's ever going to be able to hold Tom Brady's jockstrap, but I think he's got that certain it quality. Tom Brady used to be Captain Checkdown and would just understand, and then later he just became more prolific. But I just think there's a knack to just winning 18 straight games, man. And A.J. Brown has not been lighting it up.
Yeah, but why is that?
That's
the quarterback.
Well, it kind of helps with Saquon Barkley's,
I'm telling you, super team. But anyways.
I know. All right. To be continued. Packers' best team.
Yeah. I think most complete team through 2 weeks. I think the way that they dominated the Lions.
Does it make you nervous?
Dominated the Commanders.
But everyone's talking about them being
Well, I think it is. There's definitely a thing about peaking at the right time. You peak too early, and the other thing is it's a long season, man.
Mm-hmm.
Also this is a new season. There's always little wrinkles that other teams haven't seen the first couple weeks, and then they start playing those wrinkles, and so you constantly have to switch it up. So it definitely could change, and you never know. And we did lose Jaden Reed this last week to broken collarbone.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but
you guys got you guys don't have the all-star receiver, but you have a bunch of amazing number 2s. Yeah,
a lot of 2s. Although I will say Devontae Wicks, man, he looked really good against the Commanders this last week. He tore up Marshawn Lattimore. So
I feel like everybody's been tearing up Marshawn Lattimore.
He's just old, man. Yeah. He used to be really good when he was in New Orleans, but he's had injuries 3 years in a row, and it's been tough. But yeah, I think they're the most complete team, I'd say, through 2 weeks. But it's just 2 weeks. So we'll see. It's early.
Speaking of bad cornerback play, the Cowboys and Giants game. Diggs, what the hell, dude?
He's the only real. I'll be honest. I'm just trying to think about the Cowboys defense right now. He might be the only All-Pro on that defense. I mean, they
But
really
he's
don't
been
have a lot
playing
of.
ass
They do not
lately.
have a lot of guys there, and it was just the thing about it is if you can't cover Russell Wilson's moon balls over and over and over and over and over, like
He
what
used
are
to
you
drive me
doing?
crazy, like, because even in his prime, he'd be like going behind the line of scrimmage, going, ooh, ooh, dancing around, and just throwing a moon ball. And it wouldn't even be to a player in stride. It would just
No.
be to a guy that would just climb the ladder and get it. And everybody would be like, oh, Russell Wilson this, Russell Wilson that. I'm like, dude, I never understood it.
But at the same
It
time,
just always worked.
for the Giants to allow the Cowboys to drive down twice for two different Brandon Aubrey field goals is just absolutely absurd. I mean, it's absurd. Both those defenses are a disaster, and I mean, I think we talk about coaches and GMs on the hot seat. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, that is a coach and a GM on the hot seat, and I think it's going to be ugly. And I wouldn't be surprised week 5, week 6. I mean, Jackson Dart probably comes in, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised mid-season that both those dudes are done because they were already kind of on the hot seat last year, and I think this is it. I think this is the last straw for the ownership of the Giants. So
Yeah, coach of the Dolphins. What's his name?
Mike McDaniels.
I was going to put him on the hot seat
as
too.
well.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
just like, good Lord, dude.
Oof.
Um,
I think Dave Canales in Carolina, he's another one. I think this Bryce Young experiment we're just about done. I mean, sure, I get it. He hasn't had the best situation. He hasn't had a lot of weapons, not a lot of firepower around him. But how many years are you going to give it? How long? How long are you just going to go and just be drugged through the mud for years and years? So, I mean, it's just been a poverty franchise for so long. But I mean, Bryce Young he does not look good. It's just in any big moment, it's either a fumble, it's an interception.
You know what?
It's a disaster.
You know what GM should be on the hot seat?
Who?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, he's an owner as
well.
well.
What pisses me off is there is a report that the Eagles actually offered more to the Cowboys. We offered 2 firsts, a third, a fifth, and a player, which I don't even know. I'm assuming it probably would. We're not giving you Jalen Carr, so I'm assuming Moro Jomo. So I don't even know.
The Jets offered Quinnen Williams.
So and look, I don't blame him at all for not sending Micah to the Eagles. I do not blame him at all.
Yeah.
It's more of just like, why would you not send him to an AFC team? Why would you send him to a team that smacked your ass 2 years ago in the playoffs?
Multiple times we smacked him.
It's just like there's 3 places you don't trade him in the division. Obviously, that goes without saying. You don't trade him to the Packers or the 49ers because they have owned your asses for quite some time. I'm happy that the Eagles don't have to play Micah Parsons 2 times a year. The problem is he goes to a contender and raise their contenders. So it's like,
I just don't understand what Jerry's doing. Like he acts like he's in rebuild, but then he trades to get George Pickens and he pays CD and he pays Teron Bland. So I don't know what Jerry's doing. He acts like he's in a partial rebuild, but
I'm mad at I'm questioning him to who he sent them for, or who he sent them to. And when he did, because you could have got so much more, dude. You could have got more, or you could have traded him later and got picks this draft.
The Bears got a lot more for Khalil Mack.
Yeah, so it's who he sent them, who he's traded him to, and the timing and what he got. Yeah. I honestly don't blame him for trading Micah Parsons in general. I can see the logic. It's not going to be popular with the fan base.
Dude, I don't see the logic. I think he's the best player.
It's because like the Cowboys. Dude, they truly have not been able to stop the run at all. You can't even rush the passer until you stop the run.
I just don't think you can blame that on Micah Parsons, though. I think
he was not a good run stopper. He's going hard after sacks, and to get to his credit, like people keep calling him a generational talent. I think he's a generational pass rusher.
I disagree. I think he's definitely generational. I think he's the closest thing we've had to Lawrence Taylor since Lawrence Taylor.
But Lawrence Taylor could stop the run too.
I think Micah can stop the run too. I don't know where that whole
just
runner came from. But I mean, he does plenty well. You see him.
I guarantee you, if our vision comes into fruition and it's Eagles Packers in the NFC Championship game, we are running at Micah Parsons.
I highly doubt that.
Fuck around and find out.
I'm just saying.
I think you'd rather run against Rashawn Gary for sure.
You think so? I don't know Rashawn Gary. I don't know like what his. But like I'm just saying like. And then you're not going to be good for a while. There was people. I guess there was reports that some people, other than Diggs, obviously Diggs liked him, but there's people that didn't like him within the locker room, blah blah blah, this and that, and you're trying to rebuild. So I understand the first round picks and everything else. I can understand it. I can get it. You want to be better at the run. You want to try to get a defensive tackle. I wouldn't have got an older defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's been injured and he's way past his prime.
But I can understand.
Kenny Clark
I
is
question
not the
who
same
you
guy he
traded him
was.
to and what you got for him. You could have got more. I would have actually been upset if the Eagles would have got him. If we'd have gave 2 first-round picks, a third, a fifth, and one of our defensive tackles, I probably would have been a little upset.
I just think you have so much talent already in Philly. It's like you're kind of trading the future for the now, and I think the Philly's got such a good D line already. I don't think it's a.
Well, because then you have to pay. You're going to give him that crazy money. You still got to pay Jalen Carter and Mitchell and so
many superstars on there.
As much of a generational pass rusher as he is, fuck, dude, what are you giving up? And it wouldn't make sense. So while it would have been nice to see the media go slob all over us and everything else, I'd have been a little bit like, man, I don't know about this.
Yeah,
that's going to handicap us for a while.
So Burrow hurt. What do you think that does to the Cincinnati Bengals?
Dude, that guy can't catch a break.
I know.
I see what you did there.
He's been a really injury prone quarterback. But wrist, knee, now his turf toe.
I really thought that they were going to be the Bengals were going to be players for a decade, and they had 1, maybe 2 years, and really good offense. The shittiest defense. Speaking of bad defenses, they'll rival the Cowboys.
Yeah. Also, just another franchise that's made the weirdest decisions as far as not signing Trey Hendrickson until week 1, not signing their first round pick Shamar Stewart until I think it was just 1 or 2 weeks before season. Just really odd the way this franchise has treated their players so far. So
I think this first episode is going to be an hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
We want these episodes to be 45 minutes. We had predictions and everything else, so maybe the first episode will be a special or something. I don't know. Yeah. That's crazy. And then the first thing I thought was man, you have Javon. I mean not Javon. Jamir Chase. Jamar Chase. Man. Thank you. Yeah. I'll get there eventually. I still think he's going to get his. He's such a good receiver, but I mean, it hurts the fantasy value a little bit.
It sure does. Yeah, I think he's going to get less big plays. I think he's still going to get a lot of volume, but
yeah, Bengals are done.
Yeah, their defense doesn't scare you at all.
You can't lose an MVP caliber top 4 quarterback with that defense and still think you're going to do anything.
It's so much more playing the quarterback position. So much more than just pure arm talent. It's it's your intelligence, it's your grasp of the offense, it's the way that you have connection with your receivers, way you change protections, and Joe Burrow is a master of reading the defense and finding a way to beat it. And so Jake Browning, although I think he's a good backup. I think he's an above average NFL backup. He's not a Joe Burrow. So yeah, I definitely think they are out of the playoff picture for sure.
And then another quarterback that got hurt, J.J. McCarthy. Yeah. He's a little bit, 2-3 weeks is what I'm hearing. Yeah. But they got Carson Wentz, more than capable. Depends on how high you thought of the Vikings in the first place. But, I don't think. Do you think there's a big drop off from J.J. McCarthy?
No. And in fact, Carson Wentz, he's been a starter in the NFL before. So
there's a little bit more veteran.
He actually, not going to lie, he might look a little better than J.J. Initially, McCarthy. I wouldn't be surprised. I think J.J., there's more upside in the future for him once
Agreed.
Kevin O'Connell, he's a quarterback whisperer. So I think there's definitely a possibility of a future for J.J., although the first 2 weeks it's been ugly. But, bad O-line as well, bad O-line play. But I don't really think there's a massive downgrade on the Vikings offense going to Carson Wentz.
So then we figure we get a little bit of fantasy before just previewing week 3. So we got overachievers, underachievers. We're going to start with an underachiever real quick.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't think it's his fault.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and just to piggyback off it, I think another one is Travis Hunter. Just a crazy amount of draft capital given up to draft Travis Hunter. And it blows my mind that Liam Cohen and this Jaguars offense has decided to use Travis Hunter in this way because I personally, and this is my opinion, I think he's a better wide receiver than he is corner.
Yeah.
And to play him on both sides of the ball just seems like you're limiting his superstar ability. Now, I think if they used him as, you know what, let's phase you in as a superstar wide receiver, and then maybe we'll create a couple packages for you on defense. I think that could be super effective because I think he's a really good player at roaming and finding ways to make plays and to pick off the football, and could use him as a nickel corner or something like that. But as far as this playing both sides of the football, I just think he's young. He's a rookie and he's figuring out the NFL, and it's crazy. The Jaguars literally gave up franchise quarterback draft capital to move up to number 2 to take him. And so I really thought that he was going to be a good fantasy receiver because of that, because I thought the Jaguars would make it a point to get him the football. But it's just been odd. This whole Jaguars offense, in fact. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., through 2 weeks, he looks so pedestrian. And if you look at some of the film too, he looks like he's trying to avoid hits, like he's not going up and aggressively attacking the football in the air. It's like the opposite of how he played last year. So I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville.
Do you think it's a little bit of just these teams, these players just don't play preseason football ever? Like
It could be rust. Yeah, it certainly could be rust. But with how talented BTJ looked last year, it's crazy to me that he's had such a bad first 2 weeks. And I honestly, if you're going to do a buy low candidate, he's one of those guys that could be a really good player to go after for the rest of the season.
About an overachiever.
Ooh, definitely Emeka Egbuka is one of those ones that comes to mind. There's no doubt about that. Another guy that's really set the league on fire, Javonte Williams.
That's where I was going to go.
Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Like, who saw that coming?
Yeah.
Another one is just, I'm talking a lot of Jags, but Travis Etienne, man. So much talk of Tank Bigsby taking over that backfield, and Travis
He's with the Eagles
Etienne
now.
is the guy, yeah. So those are a couple, I guess, that come to mind.
So for underachiever, I had A.J. Brown as mine. For play him, I'm going to say A.J. Brown. So the Eagles just have this overcorrection type thing. It might not be like Jalen Hurts throwing like a 50-yard or 20-yard big routes and bombs and this and that. A.J. Brown looking all great. It might just be finding ways to get him the ball. It could be slants, could be this, could be that. But there's a lot of noise going on in Philly about A.J. Brown, and you can tell A.J. Brown's saying all the right things, but you can read body language. He's not happy. I can see overcorrection happening. Now, how long that lasts, I don't know. But I can definitely see for like week 3 or something like that, A.J. Brown having a lot of receptions.
Yeah, I could see that too. My plan of the week. I'm going to say, trying to think who's on the week 3 lineup here. I know we got Ravens, Lions Monday night.
You got it right here.
Rams, Eagles. That's going to be a good game.
Dory Jackson, man, better bring it. Better lace him up.
Honestly, smash spot for me would be James Cook, Buffalo Bills. I just think that Miami defense is not tough. I think that's a team that's on the verge through 2 weeks of almost just giving up. And James Cook, he looks like the alpha running back in that backfield, and really good offense. Miami's going to be down early, I think, and I think James Cook, he's going to probably eat in the second half. So
we also got Bijan against Carolina.
Bijan against Carolina, it's going to be really, really good. I think even Chase Brown on the Bengals, I think he's going to have a good game against Minnesota. I think with the Joe Burrow going out, I think they're going to have to run the football a little more. So I could see Chase Brown having a nice game too. I think Jake Browning will check it down.
As far as sit 'em, and the way these usually go is our play-ems is usually, kind of players that have been disappointing thus far or aren't well known. Hey, you should play this guy. As far as sit 'ems, those are players just like, oh, good player. Well, maybe you should sit him this week. Mine is Justin Herbert going against Broncos.
Oh. Okay.
I can see a lot of people having him as their QB1. If they're not lucky enough to get one of the scramblers, and he's been doing good. He's been playing really well thus far. I'm really a big fan of that Broncos defense. I I can see that. And again, division play. It's usually kind of like a Giants Cowboys thing, where it's like this defensive, which I can knowing both teams, I can see it being a defensive battle.
Yeah, that's really good. I gotta pick a sit-em candidate for this week. I think I probably have to go with. I think I'm gonna have to go with Jared Goff, Detroit Lions. I think that Ravens defense is pretty darn good. Could be a shootout, but I think this Ravens.
Jared Goff is very Jekyll and Hyde. Like it's either one way or the other with him. And if you get to him, he's not a good quarterback.
I just think he got a little bit exposed week 1. Week 2 was better, but I really don't think the Bears' defense and their pass rush is very poor. I think the Ravens are a significant upgrade, coaching-wise, player-wise. So I'd sit Jared Goff this week.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. So if you lose your fantasy, do not blame us. So we'll just preview week 3. We'll just usually, I'm an Eagles fan. We preview my game. He's a Packers fan. We preview his game. And then usually like the game of the week, which this week is Lions-Ravens. Yeah. So Eagles-Rams, I am terrified for this game. I was terrified for week 2 for a different reason. Week 2, like I said, like probably twice already, you're going into Arrowhead. The Chiefs have been living all off season with the embarrassment of what you did to them. And it was made worse. I did not like the fact that the Chiefs lost to the Chargers before they played us. I was like, oh crap. So like I was scared for all the nuances that had nothing to do about on-field play. When it came to on-field play, I was not scared at all. I was like, what the heck? What do they really have? They have Patrick Mahomes and what? This this team scares me. The Eagles will have to win by our offensive line beating up that smaller but talented Rams defensive line.
Agree.
They're very speedy. They're very talented, but they are small.
Is good. Yeah.
And so it's going to have to be powering them. That's why Saquon has rushed for like 200 yards both games on them. Mm-hmm. So it's going to have to be that. I'm confident with Quinyon Mitchell. I'm confident with Cooper DeJean. I'm confident with, like I said, every freaking position on that defense except for who's playing opposite Quinyon Mitchell. And they got not one. They got Makuba, but they also got Hopkins. No. Yes. Who's the second receiver they have?
On Rams, Devontae.
Devontae Adams. Yeah, I don't know why I get Hopkins and Devontae Adams mixed up.
Puka and Devontae.
It's man. I don't know. It's gonna have to be like I don't know. This one scares me. It's at Philly.
That is an advantage. Eagles favored by 3.5 points right now.
I'm gonna
in Vegas.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say the Eagles 3.5 though. Yeah, I'll say Eagles win kind of like 20-24, some kind of dumb score like that.
So they cover the spread.
I'm gonna say they cover. What do you got?
I'm gonna go Rams here. I think,
Rams to win outright or
to win outright. I think I would say. I think it might be a little more high scoring. I'm gonna say Rams 27-24. I just think that there's gonna be one of these weeks where a team's gonna put up a couple scores on the Eagles, and I don't think that the Eagles are going to be able to just run the football down their throat, and it's going to be hard for the Eagles to just have this kind of one-sided attack.
The Eagles seem to have what's the head coach's name? McVay.
Sean McVay.
They seem to have McVay's number. I think I don't know this without looking it up, but I feel like we beat them like the last 4 or 5 times we played them.
I think the Rams are just a little bit different team in years past.
Although we've had to go all offseason with the media going like the Rams were the one team that gave the Eagles the most trouble, and I'm sitting here. I have to get this off my chest. So it was a snow game. It was coming down hard. Rams really couldn't pass because not only is the field slick, but you have conditions and wind and everything else in your freaking face. So the Eagles built up a 2-score lead. And about the late fourth quarter, it stopped like coming down hard. It was just slushy field. That, I feel, then favors from the run. Now it favors the pass because the corners don't know where they're going. So they're slipping and sliding. At least the receivers know where they're going. And it's not coming down like that. And that's when the pass for the Rams finally started to work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We were winning by 2 scores up until that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. We beat them by 2 scores, 2 or 3, I forget. In LA. I don't know. I just think that I'm banking on the powerful offensive line versus that small.
Yeah. I hear
That's
that.
where it's got to be won. That's where it's got to be won.
Yeah, I really do think the Rams are probably the most complete team that the Eagles have faced this year. I think it's gonna be a really tough test for the Eagles. I'll take Rams outright.
Packers Browns.
Oof.
What's the spread on this
Let's
one?
see.
You know?
Spread's gotta be pretty high. I imagine it's gotta be probably double digits. Yeah, it's 7.5. Oh, not as much as I thought. I definitely think Packers win and cover.
I
say
completely agree.
in this game. Browns it's a disaster all the way around. I mean, quarterback, you got Joe Flacco, who's could be my grandpa more than likely. You got, I mean, decent defense. Not a terrible. You got a good D line. You got a few players on the secondary in Cleveland. I think they'll probably hang tough for a couple quarters, but I think the Packers will wear on them. So I think I'd probably take Packers 28-14.
Really close. I got Packers winning and covering. I got the Packers winning 30-13.
30-13. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then our game of the week. Oh, what did I say it was? Ravens Lions. What's the spread on that one? Do you have it? And this is a good game because just how good are the Lions? Were they bad, and that's why the Packers spanked them like they did?
4.5 Baltimore.
4.5 Baltimore. I do have Baltimore winning. 4.5.
Is it?
I'm gonna.
In Baltimore?
Don't know.
I think it might be in Baltimore.
Yeah, I think it's in Baltimore.
It is. Doesn't say that.
I think so because the Eagles are playing at Philly, and the Philly's on the bottom. So if I'm just going by that.
Yeah, it looks like it's at Baltimore.
I'm gonna pick Baltimore, but I'm not gonna pick them to cover. I think it's gonna be like a 31-27 Baltimore win.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
So close, very very close, but
that's tough. Yeah, I just don't know if
Detroit. You said 4.5, right?
4.5.
Yeah. I think they win by 4.
Okay. Yeah, I think Detroit's a little better than maybe their week 1 showing. I think they dominated the Bears. I'm gonna take Ravens as well, but I think it's gonna be really close. I'm gonna say, I think it's gonna be a little bit of more of a low scoring game. I think both these defenses are pretty decent. I'm gonna say 21-20 Baltimore.
So yeah, the same thing. Baltimore winning but not covering.
Yeah.
Same. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. This one was a lot longer. I'm hoping our future podcasts are like 45 minutes. It had a lengthy predictions in here. That'll probably most certainly be wrong. But any closing statements?
Let us know what you think. If you think we're totally wrong, let us know.
And we will get better at this, guys. Absolutely.
We're just getting started here.
Getting started. Literally using my iPhone 14 Pro to record this. But yeah, so that's all I got. We'll come back after the Eagles win. I want to say and the Packers lose, just to rub in your face, but there's no way they're losing the Browns. Yeah. If they lose to the Browns,
then it's going to be
crazy. I'm ripping you all podcasts.
It's going to be a crazy week 3 if they lose.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right. See you next time.